Okay, folks, I'm going to show you how to use 2D and 3D procedural texture to create a simple, to texture a simple eyeball. So for an eyeball, my favorite object to use is a nerve sphere. So I'm going to create a nerve sphere. All right, and we can start from here. I'm going to right click on it and give it a new material, and I'm going to choose favorite blend because it has some specularity and stuff on it. So you're going to rename this MAT for material. Alright, now I'm going to go straight to the color channel, to the checkered box, and I'm going to select the RAM shader. This is one of my favorite shaders in Maya, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on the texture so we can see it. As you can see, the texture is now mapped vertically with the black over here, so this is right there and the color white is over here. Now there's two RAMs. This is called the V RAM. If I change it to the U RAM, it's going to map up and down, okay, like so. Alright, interpolation is how the colors are mapped, so think of it as a gradient. If I put none, you're going to see that there's no gradient whatsoever. If I choose linear, it's going to divide it into separate colors, and you have a couple of other ones. So for this one, I'm going to choose linear, and I'm going to add several colors in this gradient bar by clicking in the bar. So you have a black. I'm going to hit right here and change it to white. Then I'm going to click on it again and have a black, and then we have a white. So there's four colors. Okay, as I drag this around, you are going to start seeing, all right, there's the eyeball. All right, so this is the bottom part on a URAM. Usually I rotate the ball. At this point you can also rotate the ball so you can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate the ball that way. All right, make sure it's changed to 90-degree rotation. Go back to your attribute editor, and if you lose the RAM, just go back to the color channel and click on this arrow. Okay, so as you can see, the RAM is the color right here is the is that the pupil or the iris? I think that's the pupil, the main part of the iris. Anyways, this is the black part of the eye. Okay, over here is where you add the colors of your eye. So if I want it a little tighter, I would do something like this. Alright, to make that middle part a little tighter. And then this is the white of the eye, right over there. So this part will be where, so this section is where the eye color comes in, blue eyes, green eyes, hazel, brown, whatever. Okay, I'm going to choose that to kind of split it in right about there. And I'm going to tighten this so we have not that much. So I'm going to tighten this till you have a clear eye area. Alright, just like that. Okay, now in order for me to put a color into the eye, I'm going to select this white color, because this white, the second color right here, is this part. So I'm going to click on that color, make sure it's selected. I'm going to go to selected color and click on a checkered box. This time I'm going to add a fractal texture. Now, you're probably not going to see this right now, so we're going to go ahead and scoot it over, and I'm going to do an IPR render. Alright, check out the eyeball right over here. Then I'm going to click and drag, so we can have a live render as we go. Alright, so back to my eyeball. I'll go back to the RAM, and go back to this color, the selected color, and to the RAM for that color, or to the attributes of that color. The amplitude is the amount of fractal, so if I reduce it, it'll be less than you can see. Make it larger. Okay. The threshold simply reduces the threshold, so it's a little shinier, like so. So that's a lot less. 0.5 threshold. This is less, so I like it somewhere around like this. Okay. And in order to get a color in here, you're going to go to color balance and click on color gain, and here's where you can give the eyes a color. I'm going to choose green. Alright, and do another render. There you have it. Okay, you can also give it a little color offset by making it, instead of black, giving it like a dark green. So click on this color. And the last color you use is always up front. So you can click on that color here and go to your value slider and drag the slider down to give it a dark green, just like that. Okay. You can also play around with the default color, but I think it looks good just about right now. Okay. Alright, now to make those little veins on the eye. Alright, reselect the eye. This time, going back to the RAM shader, we are going to select this last color right here, okay? Because the veins go around right there. So let's say this is a scary eyeball, it has lots of red protruding veins. I'm going to click on that color, go to the color channel, and this time we're going to the textures, we're going to put in a 3D texture, which is marble. Alright? So on your screen it looks like this, on your render, the IPR render. Okay, so we're going to try it again. Now, obviously the vein color is not this maroon red, so we're going to go in there and change it to a brighter red. Okay, as you can see it updates on the IPR render. You can also alter the vein width, so I'm going to change it to slightly thinner veins. Don't need it quite that big. Slightly, maybe 25. Okay. Diffusion is the amount of red that's diffused. So if I bump that up, you get all the red color around it. If I reduce it, you get something more of the white of the eyeball. So it depends on how scary you want it to look. Contrast is a contrast between a red, so I'm going to keep the contrast at that because I think it's pretty good. Now, to make the veins map differently, as you can notice on my screen, there's a box surrounding the eyeball. This indicates to you that it's a 3D texture. So click on the box, and as I move the box, I can also move the way the veins are displaced. But I think the rotation one works the best. So I'm going to switch to rotation, and I'm going to rotate it this way. Alright, I'm going to do an IPR render. And now the veins look like that. Okay? You can continue rotating your 3D texture to get the look that you want. And here we go. Here's the 3D eyeball. Okay?